Maya here.
And John.
And Kimani. So, today we're going to be talking about things we didn't know about getting pregnant or being pregnant. Which one?
10 things we didn't know about being pregnant.
Okay. 10 things we didn't know about being pregnant. So, number one. I think the first thing that I didn't know was how fast you could tell that you were pregnant. Like, legit, I think I knew I was pregnant within like 2 days of being pregnant. And then finally I went and took a test at home and said I was pregnant, and I was freaking out. But you know, it's good.
She even took multiple tests too, just to make sure before we went to the hospital.
Yeah, I think I took like maybe 4 or 5 tests. I can't remember. But yeah, we took a good amount of tests before I was pregnant. Did you know I was pregnant? Could you tell that I was pregnant?
No.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I had no idea. I remember the Friday that I really felt like I was pregnant, I got really sick. Like this horrible cold. I don't know what it was, but I was bedridden for like the longest time, and he had to take care of me, right?
Yes, it did.
That was insane. But after the following week, was it the following week we went to go take a test at the hospital?
Yeah, it was like about 2 weeks after we found out.
Okay, yeah. So about 2 weeks after we found out I was pregnant, yeah, we went to the hospital, took a test to make sure because I was really sick. And then at first they were like, oh, something's wrong, you know, because like they could tell that I was pregnant, but I wasn't really having the hormones to say I was pregnant. So there was saying that there was a few complications about my pregnancy, but turns out I was pregnant, and here she is right here. She's the best little baby ever.
Sweet baby.
So number 2, the second thing that I didn't know about being pregnant was how fast I realized that my monthly, I didn't even keep track of it anymore because I've never been on birth controls. I've never been on anything. So I never had a reason for my monthly not to show up. So within like 3-4 months, I didn't even remember that I was supposed to be having the monthlies. And it was actually really nice. I think that's one of the best things, other than like, you know, having her inside and feeling her grow and all that. I think that the red lady not coming up every month, that was definitely the best part about being pregnant. It was nice. So yeah, I still couldn't believe that I didn't even realize that it didn't even come on half the time. Yeah? I love you.
So, number 3. Before your delivery day, make sure you have a pediatrician assigned to your sweet baby or babies. That way you know ahead of time. So, when she comes into this world, or he comes into this world, you already have a pediatrician set, and you don't have to worry about that later on, because waiting till last minute when the baby's already here or about to be here, it gets become a mess.
Yeah.
So it's good to have a pediatrician already set up so you don't have to worry about it later on.
And they literally ask you, like right after I delivered her, the next day, they were already asking me, so who's gonna be the pediatrician? And it was like, what? I'm still here just in pain, and you're telling me we need a pediatrician already? So yeah, definitely think about that before, like, you know, before the date comes and everything, and have one already set up and maybe an appointment ready. All right, so number 4, which was one of the biggest things for me when I was pregnant. Once I started growing, I would drop. I was the most clumsiest person ever. But once I started growing and I couldn't bend down anymore, once it fell, it was no longer existing ever. It's like it fell into a black hole and I didn't want it anymore. So most of the time, I never bent down to pick up anything. I would call John and ask him to pick up something. And if he wasn't here, it's staying on the ground.
Yes. As dad, it's your job to pick up those things for mom, and make sure you help her out here with that. I mean, just that little thing, just picking up things that she drops, it's a big help, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast you can feel so, like, not helpless, but feeling like you can't really do anything. Because it's really weird to know that just a few months before, whatever fell, I could just bend down and pick it up. Now you have to go through a struggle of having a belly and leaning back and going down. And by the time you get back up, you're lightheaded. So it's just like, it doesn't even make any sense to pick anything up. So the black hole is what I call the floor because it just ate everything. So that's it.
Once it falls, it doesn't exist anymore.
Not at all. Right? She's just like, do your thing, Mom, Dad. That's it. Okay, so number 5 is something that I actually didn't know about. When you're pregnant, you're more susceptible to getting kidney stones, bladder infections, yeast infections, or just, I guess, any type of infection. When I was about 7 months pregnant, one night I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was in so much pain. I literally could not move. I couldn't do anything. I didn't call him because I was afraid. I don't know, don't do that. Make sure if you're in pain, you tell your partner, tell whoever it is, call your mom or dad or whatever, and tell them that you're in pain. I was there by myself at 3 o'clock in the morning. I dragged myself out of bed and went to the bathroom. And when I came back, I could barely even stand. It's amazing that I made it back into bed. But I went back to bed and I was still in pain, told him I was in pain. He went to work, and after like a couple of hours that he was at work, I started screaming. I was in so much, I have never felt that type of pain ever before. So anyway, after being in pain for so many hours, finally called my sister, called my mom, called his mom. His mom came over and looked at me and was waiting for him to come off of work so that we could go to the hospital. When we finally made it to the hospital, it turns out I had a kidney stone. Never had one of those before. It was so painful. I really literally thought I was having Kimani right then, but it was way too early, so I was freaking out. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go to the hospital, because, you know, I was just scared. I was like, maybe I could just hold her in if it is her, but never do that, okay? Learn from my mistake. You should go to the hospital once you feel the pain. So we went to the hospital. They looked at everything, said she was fine, couldn't tell what was wrong. Then they flushed me out and everything, and I drank more water, and it turns out, they said, the way it was looking, it looked like I had, like a kidney stone had passed through, because they did ultrasound, and I guess you can see all of that on ultrasound. I had no idea. But yeah, so they looked at all that. Turns out I only had a kidney stone. So that is one thing that can happen. How did you feel about that when you came home and saw me?
I was honestly panicking a little bit. I was very scared. I didn't know what was happening with her, and I had no idea that a pregnant woman was so susceptible to kidney stones and infection like that. I had no clue. But when the doctor gave us the news that it was a kidney stone passing, I was shocked, but also really happy it wasn't any complications. But I was so thrown out of left field when I heard about that.
Okay, so number 6, a lot of people always talk about getting sick while they're pregnant, and I do believe it's a legit thing, because so many people have told me that throughout their pregnancy, how they're sick through like day 1 all the way to 9 months of delivery. But me, I never really get sick through my pregnancy. I count my blessings, because I may have thrown up maybe 3 times while I was pregnant. Yes, I was nauseated a lot of times, but I never actually got to the point where I had to stay in bed, you know, other than like the general pains here and there. But I was never in bed from being nauseated or just couldn't move because my feet were swollen or anything like that. Yeah, that's one thing too. We were very fortunate. I worked all the way up till 2 weeks before my delivery date, or a week and a couple days before my delivery date. My feet never swelled. They did swell up, but they never like stayed swollen. So that was really good. And I never threw up. I never had like really bad, other than like general pains that you get. I never was hospital ridden, I guess you should say, right?
Yeah. One thing I did notice though was right away she didn't really have any morning sickness, which was very different, because most women that I ever talked to have been pregnant. They say they always get it like right away, and like Maya was saying earlier, it lasts almost the whole pregnancy. And as far as foot swelling goes, I didn't see her feet start to swell till like maybe like 7 or 8 months.
Yep.
And it wasn't even that much. It didn't stick very long, thank goodness. She was very fortunate with her pregnancy.
Yeah.
Very easy on her.
Yeah, like considering, I suppose. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe number 7 is like the hardest part of that I went through about being pregnant was the first month. The first month and a few weeks was pretty tough because we had a couple rough spots there, knowing like, you know, something bad was gonna happen, or, you know, it was trying. That's what I say. Because my hormones wouldn't go up the way the doctors wanted them to go up, I had to do weekly blood drawings, which is like I went to the blood bank and have to give them blood samples so they can test my hormone levels and test all of whatever else they had to test in there to make sure that she was healthy and actually growing like she was supposed to, and that I wasn't gonna have a miscarriage and everything. So I had to do that a couple times a week. Actually, I had to leave work, go there. I was fortunate because I worked at a hospital, and the lab that I had to go to was right down the street. So I just walked and, you know, walked there on my lunch break and walked back. So we did that, and sometimes we had to go different places. So he went with me, and sometimes they took like 6 vials of blood. So the first time we did it, I promise they may have taken like 10. I don't even know. I hope I'm not making that up, but I feel like they took at least 10 vials of blood from that to test it. That was really scary because for the first month, I didn't know if I was gonna lose her or not, because it was like touch and go every time, and it was pretty tough. But that I have to say, like I said, I think that was the hardest part of the pregnancy, and it was pretty horrible to know that my first month was just hell, because I thought, you know, being pregnant was supposed to be so amazing and you're not supposed to be in pain, but that first month and a half maybe was like, I have to say, the worst part of my pregnancy. And
that was probably the most unpredictable part.
Yeah.
But since her, like she was saying earlier, her hormone levels were not where they were supposed to be, every time she get her blood drawn, the lab would do their tests, and then in a couple business days they would send us emails of the results. And every freaking week we would check and see where her levels are at and everything. They had numbers and decimals and graphs showing what our progress was from point A to point B and what we can expect to see next time. And it's
half the time I didn't even know what it was saying, because it was like, oh, this is good, but then it was like saying on the other page, this is really bad. So it's like, is it good or is it bad? So like we would look up the results ourselves, but we really wouldn't know what it was saying until we actually went to the doctor the next week for her to tell us what exactly the paper said. But yeah, so anyway, that was really hard. So number 9, we have cravings. I was pretty excited about this one. I'm not gonna lie. I was really excited about knowing what I would be craving for one, and how often I would be craving things. But unfortunately, I guess my pregnancy was not like everybody else's. I did not have as much cravings as people were saying, right?
Right.
He lucked out. He lucked out.
Very true.
It's not like it's in the middle of winter and I wanted watermelons or something. But yeah, no, I never craved anything. Well, this one time I did crave something really, really.
Yes, I remember it was one day I was in class and she called me saying this craving she had.
Yeah.
And what was it again?
It was like waffles with eggs and something. I put chocolate in it, I think.
Yeah, it was chocolate, maybe cheese. And then it was 2 waffles, made a sandwich with the eggs, cheese, chocolate, smothered in maple syrup. And I really enjoyed that. Like, I ate that and I was so satisfied. It was ridiculous. But so throughout the pregnancy, the first trimester and the second half, and the second half of the second trimester, I was craving like really healthy things. Like all I wanted was greens and vegetables, and nothing that was junk food wise. I didn't want those other than that one random craving. But yeah, all I wanted was just to be healthy and be nice, and it was really, really good. I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, I'm eating healthy and everything's gonna be good. And then boop, come the second half of the second trimester and then the third trimester, all I wanted was
freaking fast food. That's all I wanted was fried chicken. I hate fried chicken. And that's all I wanted was Popeyes. And I wanted burgers. Oh my goodness.
Oh, her thing was going to Wendy's and getting a spicy chicken combo.
Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my,
she
that number
loves
6.
that sandwich so much.
Oh my goodness. I believe I ate more in my pregnancy than I did my whole entire life of eating Wendy's.
That and their chili too.
Yes. Oh, that spicy chicken, number 6 with fries and a large chili. That's what I always wanted. Dump the fries inside the chili and just eat. Oh man, it was really bad. I think that's one thing I didn't like about craving those type of the pregnancy was I was doing so well at the beginning, and for the first few months I was doing so well, and then at the end all I wanted was junk food, and it's not good to eat all that junk food, definitely, because all I wanted was, I hate beef, and for some reason I wanted burgers like constantly, and then I got sick from eating too much beef. So yeah, you guys don't want to do that.
Word of advice to fathers: do your best to help them with these cravings.
Yes.
The
Yes.
moms need help with these cravings a lot.
Yes, and please do not say that we're making it up, because we're definitely not making it up, okay? The baby wants what the baby wants, or the mom wants what she wants when she's pregnant. So don't say that she's making up this craving and, oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, why do I have to get up and go find a store that's open to get that one chocolate bar that you wanted that you haven't eaten in 10 years?
So, upcoming fathers, be prepared to make late night trips to go get snacks.
Yes.
For your partner, because
Yes.
it can happen where it'd be like 11 o'clock at night, and she's like, okay, I want a chocolate bar and I want some ice cream or something like that, and just gotta go get it.
Yeah. So actually, I did enjoy the first part of the pregnancy with being healthy and then not wanting meat at all. That was really nice. But for some reason, the last part of the pregnancy, this little one was like, nope, I'm a meat eater now, and that's all I want. So that was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was really nice. I don't eat like that anymore, thank God, but that was really good. Okay, so number 9, the last one, is your OBGYN. Ladies, please, okay, please make sure you're going to the right person, okay, because it can go so good for you and it can go so wrong. I never had an OBGYN scheduled before, so I went to one that I thought everybody was saying, oh, she's so good and the office people are so nice and everything. Yeah, no. It was really, really horrible, okay? My first visit there was disastrous, okay? For one, the first time I went there, the gynecologist, she came in, she was late, I get it, she had a delivery, so she went to deliver a baby, and then she came to me, and when she came, it was just about to be Christmas, so everybody was going on Christmas break, and she talked to me for like 5 seconds, and you can tell she was eyeing that door, she was ready to go. It was so unfortunate because I was looking forward to, like, you know, have a good relationship with my OBG, and everything was gonna be great, but no, she was ready to leave, and she left. I met her once, and then, oh no, twice. She came back in another time when I went there again, which I shouldn't have, and she talked to me for like 2 seconds, and then she was gone. The only one I was talking to was her PA, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. So the PA, I believe that's what they're called, she's the one who came in, and she's the one who did my pap smear and tested everything, and she was an absolute horrible, horrible person to talk to. She was nice, I guess, but she had no social skills, and she did not know how to treat me or talk to us the right way to make us feel better. And it was so horrible. Being pregnant, already going through all these complications because it's the beginning of the pregnancy, and I was already having a whole bunch of complications with my pregnancy to begin with. And she came in, she was doing my pap smear, and it hurt so bad. I mean, it literally hurt like more than anything I can say for the beginning of that month. And for her to do that, being that she is a woman and she goes through the same thing, you would think that she would have more care and wanting it to not hurt. And when she was done, I literally couldn't even sit down. I couldn't sit back in the chair, and I was crying. Like, she saw me crying. I was holding in tears, but they were coming out. And she literally said, okay then, well, that's it. and whatever, and she walked out. That was it. She literally didn't say, oh, I'm sorry, this happened, and blah, blah, why are you crying? She didn't try to console me. This was our first time doing this, and he was there not knowing what to do, because she didn't say, oh, we're going to be ripping skin, or we're going to be doing this. Like, it hurt so bad. And I never wanted to have anybody do that again, because I was afraid it was always going to be this way. After she left, and I was done crying, composing myself, and we left. I forgot my glasses in the room, so I had to go back to the room. And when I went to the room, she was there talking to the person behind the desk, and they were literally talking about me. And I'm like, how in the hell are you talking about me when I just left? What happened to Patient Confidential or whatever? She was talking to the person behind the desk about, I guess, whatever happened in there. And I was so freaking pissed off. It was ridiculous. If I could cuss her out right then and then, I would have. I should have done that, but I didn't. I composed myself and didn't do it. But I never went back to them. And she was telling me, oh, bye. I just ignored her. I wanted to flick her the finger and everything. But I just walked away because it was so horrible. I never went back to them. I didn't call them. I didn't do anything to do about any appointments. I didn't want to hear anything she had to say or they had to say to me. So please, make sure you think about the OBGYN that you're going to be going to, because they're going to be with you for your whole pregnancy. The whole 9 months of your pregnancy, they're going to be there. So you need to make sure it's nice people and they're gentle and they will always take care of you. And their people in the office, their assistants and the front desk clerks are always nice. My OBGYN that I went to, she was like an angel.
It was like night and day from how they treated her.
Yeah.
Just make sure you do your research into that. Mm-hmm. A proper OBGYN, because it makes a huge difference.
It really does. Like, it really, really did. She could, if we had went back to her and kept on going, I don't think that my pregnancy would have been very enjoyable going through that for, all those weeks, because you go to them every other week. You're going to the OB or, every other month. So you're going to be getting to know these people for a long time. So just make sure you think about who you're going to have touch you and go down there, because that is a very private part, literally, and they can hurt you. And if they don't care, then they really don't care, because she literally didn't care. And it was very upsetting. It was really sad to see that another woman would just go and hurt a woman like that. But, whatever. Whatever. You have anything else to add to that, Daddy?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope we gave some valuable information, or I hope you take something away from this video, really.
So.
Yeah. Those things we didn't know about being pregnant. So thank you so much for watching. We have Kimani here and Maya.
And John.
All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please remember to like and subscribe. And if anything, turn on that bell so you can never miss a video. Right?
Don't be afraid to share us too.
Yes, please. Tell everybody. Bye-bye.
Later.